Hey guys, it's almost my favorite time of the save, but it's not quite yet. I guess we're kind of close. I'll just show you here what I'm talking about. So I don't know in this save with the files set up the way that they are when Taiwan officially has its youth team intake, but we're coming really, really close to it. Remember, there are 8 teams in the top league in Taiwan, a couple of other teams in the league below, and that means that there should be more than enough players for us to look at, though most of them will not want to sign with us. It gives us a good opportunity to scout. This is what we look like so far. We're getting maybe C's on wide midfielders and attacking midfielders. There may be some sort of goalkeeper, fullback, center back, center midfielder, even wingers, strikers, defensive midfielders, and even wingbacks here, perhaps. Oh no, look at this. We haven't got any new wingbacks coming through. Okay, well, that is just par for the course. So we'll see what happens. It looks like we'll have some interesting things to look forward to. I don't know. I'm especially interested in the possibility of having a good wide player out, especially on the left side, that we can train as a wingback. Remember, when they come in, if they're 15, 16 in game, this is the best time for them to be over to train for a new position. I don't think, again, that there's any chance of them becoming a complete natural at the position, but you have a lot better chance of success if you're trying to retrain somebody who's young than if you're trying to retrain somebody in like their mid-20s. And when it comes to my tactic in the country of Taiwan, as represented in Football Manager, wingbacks are in short supply. So that, of course, brings the next question, which is what our video is really about, which is what can we do about this, right? CE, that's bad, right? Even though it says here, excellent intake, this is a terrific group of players coming through and has the potential to be a real golden generation for the club. Our golden generation is a bunch of C's and E's, so I don't really like the sound of that. Oh, we have an F too. That's even better. So the question is, what can you do about this? There are numerous guides out there that will tell you all about what you can do. We'll go through a couple of basic things, though. First of all, the most important thing is to choose a good head of youth development. Now, as you're going to see here, I don't have any numbers here. I'm not going to tell you he should have X number here, Y number there. I mean, basically, what we're looking for is judging player ability and judging player potential and working with youngsters. Those are the most important things here. Even more important than that, though, I would say, is you need to look at his not level of professionalism, but rather his personality. And this is pretty good. Professional is what you want. You want somebody who's professional or model citizen is the best. And the reason why is because if you have somebody in this position with a really, really good personality, there's a better chance that they will take that personality and apply it elsewhere. We have a lot of kids down here, and there are a lot of kids here. Let's see if I can get this set up here. A lot of kids here who have a personality that isn't really that great, right? So did you know, by the way, that you can sort by personality and it'll give you better personalities up top? I don't know what it defines it as. The worst one's on the bottom, right? So we have guys like Guo Wenqing, who's temperamental, which is definitely not what you want in a young player, 16 years old, but has this fiery temperament. It's hard because it's going to take you forever to get the professionalism level to come up. You're much better off if you're starting with a player who already has a high level, and all you have to do is add a little bit more to make him a little bit better. Now, it can be hard in places like Taiwan to find a head of youth development who has like a model professional personality. In a place like this, when I do this search for the head of youth development, what I will do is I will just put this down, and I'm not going to put down any attributes or anything else, right? Remember, it's hardcore mode, so I'm not going to be able to see anything anyway. I care a little bit about this, but not much, because you can see that everybody's kind of bad at all the stuff that really matters. What we're going to do instead is what I just said. We're going to start to sort it by personalities. And the best that we have here really is this Chen Zhengyi, who is determined, which is all right, but it's not as good as professional. Fairly professional is good, but it's not professional. It's kind of professional, right? And so we really have, as far as I can tell, the best head of youth development that we possibly could. The reason why, by the way, on that staff search screen, the reason why you're only seeing a couple of guys is here and include, right? I only want to include interested staff, that people who would actually sign with us, right? If I were to take that off, I won't here because it'll take forever to load. If I were to take that off, you'd have like every single potential head of youth development in the game pop up, but then I would spend all sorts of time clicking on people only to discover that like this great guy in Germany or whatever is not going to leave a Bundesliga team where he's making real money to come to Taiwan and make peanuts. So we're not going to spend our time doing that, right? The other thing that you can do is you can ask the board for improvements. So if you go over here to the club info screen, and this is going to be different depending upon exactly what your tactic is, or what your skin is, sorry. If you go over to facilities, yes, facilities will tell you what your facilities are like. We just had ours updated, right? So we are looking especially at youth facilities, which are basic, junior coaching, which is fairly basic, and youth recruitment, which is also fairly basic. Those are the three things that you want to improve your chance of getting good youngsters. Now, that is not a guarantee that you're going to get wonder kids, especially in a country like Taiwan. There are things that are kind of hidden here. I can even take a look and see if I can actually find them. There are things that are hidden here that tell us about or that have to do with the level of interest that people in your country have in football and in playing it and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to look here to see if there we go. Click on Chinese Taipei. I'm not sure if it's going to tell us like the importance. That's the one thing that we're looking for. We can sort of surmise, however, how important the game is in each of these countries by looking at stuff like the world ranking history, right? We were doing okay. We are not doing so okay anymore, right? It's pretty bad. I don't know, you looking at overview is not going to tell you very much. Well, yeah, world ranking, here we go. Yeah, started 155th, and now we're all the way down to 171st. So go team. We're doing an excellent job. Let's just see if there's anything else that we can find. Yeah, rank 171st. It doesn't look like there's any way that we can see it, but there is a hidden attribute that will tell you like the importance that's placed on this team from people who live in the country. Now, I've been using Dave INC ID's add-ons. If you've been watching earlier videos, you know about that. I've used those add-ons, and those add-ons help a lot when it comes to fixing this a little bit and making sure that it is accurate so that like if you don't intervene, Taiwan is not going to suddenly become like a World Cup winning side, right? It could happen with a lot of effort and a lot of work and with a lot of trying to get good talented people in and building things up and stuff. Yeah, we could make it happen. In theory, if we wanted to change the rules of the save and forget about doing the Hexagon challenge, we probably could work hard to get Mars FC into Asian competition. If we could win a bunch there, we could get our finances up. Getting the finances up means that eventually we would have enough money to attract some real talent here. And it would also mean, at least in theory, that our reputation would increase as we beat other Asian competition to the point where we can finally start attracting players, coaches, and the like that can take this club and move it to the next level, right? Theoretically, it can happen if you win a lot. Is it likely to happen? Probably not. Are we going to go for that? Probably not. We're probably just going to be here. We'll win it once or something, and then we'll move on somewhere else because it takes a lot of time, and it becomes a little bit of a grind to do that. But, so it is. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll do what we can do. We'll take a positive attitude towards all of this and see what we can figure out. As it stands, though, here, if you're trying to improve those things with your facilities, your junior coaching and stuff like that, I mean, you're basically beholden to trying to make board requests for it. So you can see here, we can ask to improve trading facilities. We can ask to improve transfer budgets. We don't really want to. We can ask for all sorts of different stuff that I'm not going to ask for because I don't think it's a good idea. Our overall bank balance has gone down largely because of the improvements that we have made, which are what these things are. Right, just so you're aware. Our income is also fairly high in large part because we keep playing really well. We keep getting additional funds because of that. So it is. That's sort of the way it works. You want to keep that in mind, right? If your ownership is always saying no to stuff, it's possible that your ownership is. I'm sorry, this is the profit. We should be looking at the loss here. That's what we're talking about. Whatever. It's always possible that your ownership doesn't. have attach the same level of importance to this stuff that you do, which I guess is the realistic way to think of it. It's also possible that you just don't have the money for it, right? And it can be hard to tell, but your owners will be able to look in and tell and say, hey, our financial status is poor or whatever. We're not going to go throw a whole bunch of money on youth recruitment. So there you go. That's what you do with your Mars, or with your youth intake preview and with your youth intake. I don't think making any changes at this point is going to really change that much. So, and at some point in time here, the game's already randomized it. So like we could save it and try to go through it, re-roll the virtual dice again and again. It's not going to do anything. But yeah, just so you know, that's what you do. Those are the improvements that you need to make to sort of make this work. As always, I recommend starting with the staff first. You need to get a good head of youth development in right from the start, no matter what kind of save it is, because young players will prove valuable, whether you're going to actually play them or sell them or whatever rules you're playing under. You need to do this one first. There's got to be something, getting a good head of youth development needs to be something you do from the very beginning of the save. So there you have it. Hope you have a good day. I will talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.